News Channel 5 on your side presents Kaleidoscope, focusing on people who make a difference in Northeast Ohio communities.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good to have you with me today. Hands On Northeast Ohio hosts its annual Homeless Stand Down in late January. Its executive director, Jeff Griffiths, is here, along with Kelly Camlin, who is Associate Director of Housing and Shelter at Lutheran Metropolitan Ministry. They're both here to explain how you can help those who are homeless. Also today, Beverly Bird Lloyd will tell us about the annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Holiday Scholarship Breakfast. And on the broadcast after that, we'll hear from Julie Leggett of the Domestic Violence and Child Advocacy Center. Good afternoon again. I'm Leon Bibb. This is Kaleidoscope, and so we begin. Beginning with Jeff Griffiths, Executive Director of Hands On Northeast Ohio, and Kelly Camlin, Associate Director of Housing and Shelter for the Lutheran Metropolitan Ministry. Good to have you both with us. Let me begin with you, Kelly. Tell me, how big is the homeless problem in our area of Northeast Ohio?
It's very big. On any given day, there are approximately 2,000 persons who are homeless in our county. Services are coordinated through the county, and there's a centralized point of intake at 1736 Superior Avenue where anyone who is experiencing homelessness can go and get an assessment and receive diversion or referrals for treatment or referrals to our shelter. Yeah,
and I know you're very much involved with the shelter, the Lutheran Metropolitan Ministry shelter. If memory serves me correct, it is on Lakeside Avenue in the Midtown area of Cleveland, or near downtown.
Yes. Since 2005, we have been operating the men's shelter, the emergency men's shelter at 2100 Lakeside. We serve approximately 4,000 men each year. And we have a mission to provide emergency shelter, supportive services, and solutions to homelessness.
Okay, well, that's got us started now talking about this situation of homelessness. Let's bring Jeff Griffiths into the conversation, Executive Director of Hands On Northeast Ohio. What is Hands On Northeast Ohio?
Sure. Hands On is the region's volunteer center, so we coordinate volunteerism across Lake, Cuyahoga, and Lorain counties, long-term or short-term with one-time or ongoing events. We coordinate and navigate those with many partners, included 2100 and the food bank and those type of things. So one of the larger events that we coordinate and we're the lead for is the Homeless Stand Down that happens the Saturday after the MLK holiday, and provides that one-stop resource fair and winter clothing, basic need items for folks homeless or in transition.
Yeah, tell me about exactly what happens on the Homeless Stand Down. I mean, sure. That's the name of it.
Yes,
exactly what happens.
Yeah, the Stand Down idea originated after the Vietnam War, where vets were coming back and they realized that there was an increase in veterans homelessness, so they responded with the Stand Down events, which is really, again, centralizing resources, vendors, agencies, community organizations in one place to provide short and long-term support. So respite from the cold, renewal of the spirit, a place of community, and connection to those needed services. So someone coming in will get anything from a breakfast and a hot lunch to hats, gloves, scarves, underwear, boots, coats, provided by a huge network of the community, and then medical care and follow-up care, and then an agency fair that also provides access to 40 to 50 different services.
Yeah. So you and the Lutheran Metropolitan Ministry have formed somewhat of a partnership, helping hands together, all to help people on the Homeless Stand Down. Tell me why you think this is vital for all of us to be involved in this.
Well, I think the things that are offered at the Stand Down are critical, and they're things that people who are experiencing homelessness really need on any given day of the year. So things like a good haircut to go to a job interview, or warm clothes to wait for the bus to get to an appointment. So, you know, I wish we could have the Homeless Stand Down every day.
What's the best way to give to the Lutheran Metropolitan Ministry? I know you've got your facility there on Lakeside Avenue. What's the best way to give, and what do you need specifically there?
Well, certainly we accept donations of clothing, towels, things like that. We're open 24/7, and we accept donations 24/7 as well. People donate their time as well. We have nearly 2,000 volunteers from the community who come in every single year and do things ranging from helping people with resume development or tutoring for GED and things like that. So.
Yeah. You need volunteers too, Jeff?
We do, of course, yeah. The Stand Down itself engages about 400 to 600 volunteers across that big day on January 23rd. And so we're certainly looking for folks to do a realm of things, from that medical care or vision checks, a skilled volunteer providing a haircut, to unskilled folks maybe navigating someone through a shopping area.
This is a good place for churches to get involved. Churches, synagogues, other religious organizations. I know my church, South Euclid United Church of Christ, is very much and has long been involved with the Stand Down. You need organizations like that to say, hey, what can I do?
Exactly. And it really, you know, the stand-down itself happens only because of this huge network and partnership of agencies and organizations, faith groups, businesses, individuals who mobilize around this to provide those basic need items, to volunteer, to donate. And next year being the 25th year, we want to make sure we have all of those items possible that we can provide to folks.
Yeah. Kelly, tell me, what do you see on a daily basis regarding the subject of homelessness in this town?
You know, I see a lot of hope. I think that we're seeing some progress that's being made, especially in the areas of homeless veterans. We've seen a great decrease in the number of homeless veterans at our shelter. Also, the number of persons who are chronically homeless. I think the great strides are being made to help people who are chronically homeless get permanent housing and stay permanently housed.
I want to put a phone number on the screen, 216-432-9390. More information on everything we're talking about, or you can text HSD for Homeless Stand Down, HSD 2016-241-444. Leave us with a thought. Am I my brother's keeper?
Absolutely. I think we all are. And there's every single person has a different story that leads them to this place, and I think there's hope for everyone to get out of this and into permanent, get home. There's a chance for people to get home.
In our final 15 seconds, take us home on this. Take us home on why this is important in our final 15 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, each one of us is a step away from potentially being homeless or in a situation where we need help, and each one of us has a responsibility to help and give back. So we're hoping, again, for this 25th stand down that we can get 2,500 donations and lots of people to mobilize around helping and giving back, whether that's at the day of the event, texting online, or attending our fundraising luncheon.
Indeed, we are our brothers and sisters keepers, aren't we? Many thanks, Jeff Griffiths, Executive Director of Hands On Northeast Ohio, and Kelly Camlin, Associate Director of Housing and Shelter at the Lutheran Metropolitan Ministry. Many thanks for being on the broadcast.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
For bringing to light something we need to talk about even more. We'll have you back, of course.
Great.
I'll take a break. This is Kaleidoscope. I'm Leon Bibb. Back shortly. Good afternoon and welcome back to Kaleidoscope. You know, the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Holiday Scholarship Committee hosts its annual breakfast on Monday, January the 17th. It's going to be held at the Doubletree Hotel in downtown Cleveland, and committee member Beverly Bird Lloyd is here to tell us more about the event. And you've been doing this for some years, working with this committee, haven't you?
15 years.
So it's very good for you.
Very good.
And for the entire community.
And for the community.
So give me a preview of the Martin Luther King Scholarship Breakfast for 2016, which is going to be January 17th.
It will be a very exciting time. We have Reverend Anthony Small as our keynote speaker, but the focus is children from 1st grade to 12th grade receiving scholarship awards.
And these scholarship awards will help them go on to further education.
Absolutely. They're all awarded to be used in higher education or any educational purpose.
This is really very youth-oriented. The whole day is youth-oriented.
Absolutely.
As we build on the legacy of Martin Luther King.
Absolutely.
Speak to that.
Well, we have a Kids for King initiative where high school students volunteer. We have artwork on our program that children have done. If you would look at some of the cards, it would just melt your heart to see the artwork and the use of language that students put together to honor the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King.
Tickets still available for this event?
Absolutely. Go on that website. You can still get tickets.
And that's at kingbreakfast.org. Kingbreakfast.org. I'm going to put a phone number on the screen as we continue our conversation with Beverly Bird Lloyd, 216-229-0306. You've been involved with this for many years, as you said. What is it about Dr. Martin Luther King that you tell people is vital for us to know and understand?
Dr. King was always talking about the beloved community. And that's a community that we all can live in and respect each other and learn to just work together with each other.
Great man.
Absolutely. And so his work is so much embedded in community work, which is why we give a community recipient scholarship as well.
The fact of the matter is, were Dr. King, had he not lived, had he not been a part of the fabric of the American life and the world stage, you and I would not be sitting here at all doing what we do in this location right here.
Absolutely.
So everything changed, and that he helped make a better world, as he and millions of others who led the movement.
Yes.
Do you talk about those things when you have your breakfast?
We do. Our theme this year happens to be honoring a legacy of perseverance and sacrifice. So we talk about real issues in the community, that there has to be perseverance and sacrifice. Everything doesn't just come like this microwave instantly.
No, nothing is instant. What is the cost of for the tickets for this event on Monday?
Yes, it's $35, and that will be included tax-free. You know, you can.
And that's Monday, January 17th at the DoubleTree Hotel, and that's at 1111 Lakeside Avenue. That's really at the corner of East 12th Street and Lakeside Avenue in downtown Cleveland, the DoubleTree. Monday, January 17th, and you start at 7:30 in the morning.
Start at 7:30 in the morning. We want to get a kickstart on all the activities.
All at the beginning. Why have you stayed true to this breakfast, this committee? 15 years.
Well, I'm an educator, so education is so important, and that's the focus. Our awards, we want to promote ongoing education. I think education is the key, and when I see these youngsters from first grade to 12th grade, and they are excited about their card, they're excited about what they've said about Dr. King, and they are beginning already to be community involved in the community.
Community leaders.
Community leaders.
So many times when we talk about Dr. Martin Luther King, certainly for the youngsters who may not know, they may think of him as being way back there, a long, long time ago. It really wasn't that long once you get to our age. It really wasn't that long. There are people walking around this town who were with Dr. King all the time and who knew him. He visited Cleveland many times. You tell those stories?
We do tell those stories. In our keynote speaker, the stories are told. We always have young people that are singing or reading poetry, and their stories are telling that story, as a matter of fact.
I love the fact that you have the art competition where kids draw pictures or make posters regarding the Martin Luther King holiday. That's something that is vital to what you're about.
And those posters would melt your heart. We always feature them in the booklet, our program booklet, and on the podium where you can see them during the program, and they would melt your heart.
Yeah. Let's give it a good plug right here. It's going to be at the DoubleTree Hotel, the Martin Luther King Holiday Scholarship Breakfast, 7:30 in the morning, Monday, January 17th at the DoubleTree Hotel at East 12th Street and Lakeside. Tickets are $35, and you can call 229-0306 in the 216 area code. You see at the bottom of the screen. You can get your tickets that way, or you can go to kingbreakfast.org, get your tickets that way, and get more information on everything we're talking about. Beverly Bird Lloyd, who's on that committee. Many thanks, Beverly.
Thank you.
Good to see you, and thank you for what you do and what you have long done in this community. We appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
You touch all of our hearts. I'll take a break. I'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to Kaleidoscope. Julie Leggett is here, Director of Development at the Domestic Violence and Child Advocacy Center. She joins me now to talk about the mission and the programs offered by her organization. And Julie, we're here talking about domestic violence. It is a big, 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 big problem, isn't it?
It is, unfortunately, yes. We see by the statistics, 1 in 4 women are abused and a victim of domestic violence. And when you think of 1 in 4, look at the numbers.
Yeah, look at the numbers.
Yes.
And you're also the Child Advocacy Center, so children get involved in this too.
Yes, absolutely. Over 90% of the children that are in households that have violence are not only part of that violence growing up, they turn out to see that as the norm and become abusers themselves.
Talk about some of the programs and services that you provide.
So we actually provide many different services to families in crisis. First and foremost, we have an emergency confidential shelter for people that have found themselves in the situation. We get most of our clients at our shelter through either the police department or the emergency rooms. And we do have a 24-hour crisis hotline that they can contact. So that's first and foremost for the safety. And then we provide advocacy into the courts. So once they find themselves that they need to go through the system, and they have someone that is there to help them navigate that.
You mentioned that these are confidential shelters. I mean,
Correct.
you don't advertise where they are. If people need them, the police and the hospitals get the women or whomever to where they need to be, so that you don't have everybody knocking on the door and people running after them, that kind of thing. There is a domestic violence cycle that happens. Speak to that a little bit.
So the cycle starts where there's just some small type pushing or maybe verbal, and you'll push it off as something that is not going to happen again. And then you go through a phase which is almost the honeymoon phase, where everything's fine and I'm sorry and there's a lot of remorse. But then it happens again and it happens again, and the violence escalates. So it becomes this cycle that is hard to break.
I want to put a phone number on the screen where we can get more information. Somebody out there may be in a situation right now, and they can make a phone call to this number that I'll put on the screen, 216-229-2420.
Or else they can contact our helpline at 216-391-HELP. And that'll go to our 24-hour helpline.
391-HELP. That's if you're in a bad situation right now. And you need some advice, you need some help, you need somebody to get you out of that situation. 216-391-HELP. Or you can go to dvcac.org. That's at the bottom of the screen. But really, that important crisis number is 216-391-HELP if there's a woman or a person out there who needs it.
That is correct.
We also see elder abuse too, don't we? I mean, this domestic thing has gotten out of hand in this country.
Yes, it is. It is continuous in our communities, and it affects all neighborhoods of our communities. Just sometimes no one is looking, or our victims will suffer in silence because of the shame or the embarrassment or the fear.
I know I've been part of my religious organization, my church, South Euclid United Church of Christ, and other organizations that I've been involved in have donated items to your shelters, because when the women leave, they leave with only what they're wearing. I mean, they don't pack a suitcase. They leave, and they need everything. You need to speak to that a little bit, would you? So
we are supported generously by the community. We do take donations on our website. We do have a list of needs that you can always continuous go to, and whether that be, you know, washcloth items, toiletries, cleaning supplies, just all of those things that you need once we are able to move them from the shelter into a safe housing situation.
Let's make you queen for a day. What would you do to fix this domestic situation? Where would you take it if you could just do that and everything would change?
I would make everyone in society realize that every life matters and violence is no way to correct anything, and that would make it go away.
This is a significant problem that we've got. And we're trying to deal with it. How big an area do you handle here for Domestic Violence and Child Advocacy Center? How big a geographical area?
So we provide all of our services in Cuyahoga County only. So all of Cuyahoga County is served by our agency, whether it's our shelter, our educational classes, our support groups, or our advocacy. We are Cuyahoga County's Domestic Violence and Child Advocacy Center.
I'm guessing there are similar organizations to yours outside of Cuyahoga County in neighboring counties. Well, you reach 19 counties here on this television set.
Correct.
And each one of those counties has something similar to what you've got going.
Yes, every single county does have a place where if you're experiencing violence, you can get services. And you can do that by calling 911.
Yeah, 911.
Yes.
911, and that'll get you to anywhere you need to go.
Yes.
Wherever you are in the state of Ohio.
Right, that will get you safe.
But once again, Julie Leggett is Director of Development. There's a crisis number, 216-391-HELP. That's the crisis number. If you're in trouble right now, Call that number right now. Somebody will pick up on that phone. I don't care what time of the day it is, what day it is.
That's correct.
Okay. And there's a general number of 229-2420. More information on everything that we're talking about if you'd like to volunteer or something like that.
Absolutely.
Julie Leggett, thank you so much for being on the broadcast. I'll take a break right now. We'll be right back. This is Urban League. My name is Leon Bibb. I'll be back shortly. Time now for the Morning Exchange segment of our broadcast, as we call it, here on Kaleidoscope. That means the Urban League of Greater Cleveland always sends a representative. Today, Yvette Jackson-Clark, who's Senior Director of Education and Talent Development at the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. How you doing?
I'm excellent. I am here to tell you about an amazing program that we have the opportunity to extend. It's called the Urban Youth Empowerment Program, UYEP Now. We are able to service 100 youth who have been involved in the juvenile justice system ages 15 to 24. And we're very excited about this opportunity to continue working with individuals who've made a little mistake in their past, but understanding that that one mistake does not stop you and impede your future.
So you're telling them, okay, we've made a mistake now. Let's make a mid-course change in our lives.
Correction.
Yeah, and we can jump off from there and do good things for the rest of our lives.
Absolutely. So we provide wraparound services, including we'll go into the schools, we'll talk about education, tutoring, and then let's try to get employment. Let's try to do a career path. We work on soft skills, and we help the individual all around develop into a better person and a good citizen.
I like that phrase you use, career path. We're not only looking for a job, we're looking for a career.
Yeah, because the job is just over broke, and we don't want to be just over broke. We want to have a career and a pathway to success.
We're talking about the next 35, 40 years of your life. I
Absolutely.
mean, so that's one of the things. How has the UYEP?
UYEP, that's right.
UYEP. How had it been received by the young people at the Urban League?
Overwhelming. It's been overwhelming success, and we had to the point where we were at capacity, and this grant extension allows us to help 100 more youth, and so we're expanding our reach and our growth, and we're in a couple of high schools, and then we're also providing programming at the Urban League itself.
And this is people in our final 30 seconds involved in the juvenile justice system who have made one little mistake. And trying to get them back on the right path.
That's right.
And most things we want them to say, don't even make the first mistake.
Exactly.
If we can do that.
Right.
Okay, many thanks, Yvette Jackson-Clark, Urban League of Greater Cleveland. She's the Senior Director of Education and Talent Development. 622-0999 in the 216 area code is the number for the Urban League. Thank you, Yvette.
Thank you.
That's going to do it for us. We appreciate you being here. Take care.
This has been a presentation of News Channel 5's Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland.